December 1st. We've made it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to be covering Testimonial Tree and Moxie. Some of it we've trained on before, whether Moxie Monday or whatnot, or Blue Sync. But I just thought this is a really nice recap. We have everything fully functioning, at least I hope so. And so I just kind of wanted to cover the three main highlights here so that you can then take it back to your agents and help them through this new platform that we have. So quite excitingly, it's already gotten some pretty good traction. Let me get logged in here. I seem to have lost all my tabs I had. There we go. You'll notice Testimonial Tree does log you out. So if you are in there and you click and it'll take you back to the login, that's because it does time out. So you can see we've launched November 17th, so just 2 weeks here in, and we've had 239 testimonials received and 81 surveys. I'm pretty happy with those numbers myself. We all know that it takes usually that third email that goes out before our clients will even submit these. So I think this is just really, really good traction that we've had on this. And now it's time to start utilizing it as its second step. And that's to advertise these testimonials for our agents, both on their Moxie Present and on their Moxie websites. And there's a simple steps that we can do to get that done. Now, the first thing I wanted to show you, because we get this question a lot, and that's okay, is how do you log in to Testimonial Tree? Well, hopefully we've made it as easy as possible. So if your agents are able to log into Moxie, which is what I just switched to on the screen here is our Moxie platform, what they and what you will want to do is go over to where it says Hub. Now, this is going to be accurate for Coldwell Banker, Century 21, and Sotheby's will all have this opportunity. From here, you'll see where it says Testimonial Tree. This and I'm going to say should auto log in your agents, your managers, and yourselves. If you get an error, or if your managers or agents are getting an error, please just send that over to the help desk or to myself. I can help with that too, because there may be just a glitch in the system. So the way Testimonial Tree was set up is through a link with Moxie. So when you add, or when your agent onboarding specialist add an agent into Moxie, that night they're sent automatically over to Testimonial Tree, and that single sign-on should be ready to go. Any new agents, it should be seamless. Some of the agents that were with us previous to the launch may have a glitch. So if they're getting that error, please do reach out. If you have access to more than one account on Moxie, maybe it's a trading account, maybe you're proxying as an agent and you click the link, it could be broken. So if you're questioning whether it's actually working, maybe it did work yesterday and it's not working today, go ahead and either clear your browser or launch an incognito window, because Testimonial Tree is very sticky, just like Dash, just like CV Desk, just like any of those other tools. So we do want to make sure that we clear that history or launch an incognito window to ensure that that single sign-on is actually not working. So once they log in from here, it's going to take them into their dashboard. Now, this is company-wide that you're seeing, administrative account for the entire company. And we do know there is a glitch. The one glitch that there is for you guys. Our ASCs and RSCs, Testimonial Tree Land calls them managers. So that's what you will be called in Testimonial Tree. And as managers, you should only be seeing those agents in your office. You know, your 10 agents, your 15 agents, your 80 agents. Right now, you're seeing all 2001. So Testimonial Tree has an open ticket. They're working on to correct that. So hopefully they'll get that fixed for you guys so that you're not seeing all the noise of all the agents and you'll only be seeing your own. So hopefully that'll get corrected, and stay tuned for more. I will send that note out as soon as we've heard back from them that that has been fixed. Some of you also don't have manager rights in Testimonial Tree. Either it didn't come across right, or you joined us in that weird time in between when we first started working with them until our launch. So over to the left here, if you do not see the word management, by all means, shoot me an email and let me know, and we'll make sure that we add you as the manager to that office, because we do want you to have the ability to go in and help your agents maybe collect more testimonials, maybe help them market it on social media, maybe help them correct a certain testimonial. Maybe there was a spelling error you want to correct, or some personal information you want to remove. So we do want to make sure that you guys are able to see that management button. If you want to get to your list of agents to see who you do have access to, and then most likely it's 2001, click on Management and click on Users. This will take you into the user page. I spent a good 5 minutes the first time I logged in here staring at this screen. And you know why? There's no search bar, right? Well, they hit it. It's over here to the right where it says Filters. So up here you have opportunity to add a new user, which you don't have to do because it'll come over from Moxie. You can export the list to CSV. If you do want to make sure that all the agents are accurate and up to date, you can do that as well. But if you're searching for a particular agent, go ahead and click that bar right there. Again, it says filters, click the arrow. And this is where you can search for a particular agent without going through the list of 2001 agents. So you can search any location. So see, I have all of them, which you probably do as of today when that's what we're working to correct. Or you can type in that agent's name. Click search. And it's going to spin, and then it's going to pull up anybody with that last name. Yes, I picked on my husband because I knew he would pop up. So myself, of course, came up, and then the agent came up. This is where you can actually log in as the agent if you want to do work for them. It gives you the opportunity to get their collection link. So maybe they're sending an email out through Moxie and they want to ask for testimonials. They can do that with that collection link right there. You can get into, I clicked login as, so this is logging in as the home team, which is my husband's team. So you have that opportunity from that management users tab. So you have all of these options, and if you hover over them, it's going to pull it up. So you can view their surveys, you can view their testimonials, you can edit the user. That's where you can go in to help them trigger their Facebook pages, their Google pages, whatever it might be that they want to add it to. That was the one I accidentally clicked, the login as. And then you can manage their collection sites and you can view their history from here. And then we've already touched on the manage. Collection link, branding, settings, delete user. Now, if an agent does decide to leave the company and they are off-boarded in Moxie, they should come out of Testimonial Tree. But if you notice there's somebody in there that's no longer with the company, you can delete them right from the screen. Again, from the time we did set up until the go live date, there may have been that weird gap of time where some agents maybe were not off-boarded. So you do have the opportunity to do that there. I had a question, so let me take a moment to read it. Do their surveys show up on any other sites? And can they delete those if they do not want them to show up on anything? Great question, Crystal. So part one, do their surveys show up on any other sites? The only site that there's an actual feed of that particular testimonial is to realtor.com. And there is one step set up for that, which we'll cover it on a training soon. Realtor.com will accept the same testimonial left on Testimonial Tree. None of the other sites will. But what will happen is when the client leaves the review on Testimonial Tree, Joe Schmo was great, best transaction I've ever had, highly recommend to everybody else, 5 stars. The next screen that pops up is, thank you so much for your review. Would you like to go to Facebook? Would you like to go to Google Places? Would you like to go to Zillow? The agent can set that up in their settings. So the actual testimonial doesn't transfer over, but it does give the client an opportunity to leave that review elsewhere. If the review is 1 through 3 stars, that option does not come up. 1 through 3 stars, thank you so much for your review. Have a nice day. No options to go elsewhere. If it is 1 through 3 stars, it does not automatically show up on their sites. It does not automatically get fed to any other social media. It gets stopped. If it's 4 or 5 stars and they still do not want it to show up on their sites, they can go in and delete that testimonial. They cannot. You as the manager of the office can go in and delete that testimonial. They just have to ask for you to do that. So I hope that answered the question, but if not, go ahead and type in the chat box for further insight. Stephanie asked, is Moxie the only way to log into Testimonial Tree? No. You can go to testimonialtree.com/secure. And if you head to schmidtresources.com and go to the Testimonial Tree square, that login link is there. If the agent doesn't know their password, they can do a password reset with the email address that they use in Moxie. So most likely CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt, Ohio, CB Florida Homes, CB SMFL, CB Paradise, CB Premier, whatever it might be. They can do a password reset there. But the easiest way is to log into Moxie. But absolutely, they can log in elsewhere. And I don't see any other questions, so we'll continue on, but keep them coming. Feel free to unmute if you'd like and ask questions. If it's a little harder to type through, that's absolutely fine as well. I have 2 children. I'm used to being interrupted. You won't hurt my feelings. So again, if you do not have management, reach out, let me know. We'll make sure you get it. When you click on manage and users, as of today, you are probably seeing every single agent we have in the company. We're working on fixing that. Over here on the sidebar in a very hidden Easter eggish spot is the filter go ahead and type in a name. It'll pull up that agent. So that's what we've covered so far. So now let's jump in and adding that widget, that testimonial page with all those great testimonials, how we can add that to Moxie Present. And again, unless you're proxied as the agent in Moxie Present, you cannot do this for the agent. You do have to be logged in as them or have their log in order to be able to do this for them. So we're going to jump over to Moxie. We're going to jump over to Present. Now, this is a Moxie Monday that, thanks to Judy Luptak, covered on Monday. It is in the playlist, so if you head to Schmidt Video Classroom, it is on the Moxie Monday playlist. But this will allow them to set up a template for one time that they can then add into any single presentation that they want. Right? Our agents always want to share all of the great things their past clients have had to say about them. So what this step here will be a one step that they will have to complete, or if you get proxy for them, that you can complete for them. So instead of walking through the steps and going to a new one, I'm just going to edit a test presentation that I've done in the past. So we'll click the pencil, but same steps if you go through and create a new presentation. I'm going to jump straight to pages. So this is where your agents would add this. And again, they can set it up so it's a template so that they can then pull it into any presentation that they want. They can add it as a template for that presentation as well. From here, you're going to want to click Add Page. And they're going to want to click Create New. This is going to be the build page option. I think this layout is the best for this particular embed that we're going to do. So click all the way to the left and click Create. Now we're going to pause here for a moment and go back to Testimonial Tree. And again, this step can be done after Testimonial Tree, before, however they want to do it. But now we got to get that actual embed link. So back in Testimonial Tree. And again, this is where you would want to log in as them to get their specific widget for their reviews. Because if you do it as yourself, it's going to be your entire office reviews. So you go to widgets. You can go to manage widgets if you've done this in the past, but you really can, you can do add widget. From here, you can see there's different types of look to what these widgets look like. You can see all the options. So you want to find the one that works best for what your agent wants. So we're just going to choose this first one. So we're going to click Choose and Continue. And then you can choose to do just certain dates of these if you want to, or you can leave it wide open so that it's everything. Click Continue. Name that widget. Click Finish. And then you want to choose this first one, Add Widget Myself. Click here. And it gives you two options. You can use either option in Moxie. It's just which particular part of Moxie that you click on. But it's pretty clear to you. You just have to kind of read what it says. So this first one is the widget code. And it says, choose the area on your website where you'd like this widget to show. You might want to make a new page, blah, 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 source code. And then the second one is iframing. So for example, we're going to pick the first embed. We're going to highlight the whole thing and we're going to click copy. We're going to go back into Moxie and we're going to click more because we're not adding text, we're not adding an image, and we're not adding video. So we're going to click on more. This little guy will come up. So the first option is the globe. And if you hover over it, it does bring up the title of iframe. I selected the embed on the widget. So this is the embed. So you would click that little square there, paste that in there and click OK. That is embedding that particular widget. Now, if you do want to do the iframe one, let me go ahead and just delete that. Added a new one. Going to go to more and you're going to click the iframe option. And from here, you're going to go over here and select the iframe option and paste that into there. Now, the reason why it's not looking so hot is because I am this test account here. And then I just clicked continue. So what your agents will see is as soon as they have a testimonial is it's going to come up and show them the testimonials. So now that we've put in the iframe. And you don't have to do both. You don't have to do the iframe and the embed. It's one or the other. But just know that the first globe is for the iframe. The second globe is for the embed. And keep in mind, it doesn't necessarily pop up the title right away, but if you kind of just move your mouse around just a little bit, that title will come up so that you don't have to remember which one's which. It does tell you. So we're going to save this. Just going to save it as, I better date that, test 12.1. Click save. And then you can see that it isn't quite functioning right because there's no testimonials on this account. So now we're going to go ahead and close that. And you can see that put this right in here on my, it put it right here into my presentation. And again, this is a bad example because there wasn't any there, but every time that your agent uses any of those widgets from Testimonial Tree, it's always going to say add new testimonial. So if somebody is on their page, maybe they didn't receive a testimonial request because they didn't transact with them, but maybe they know them in the marketplace, maybe they're a family member, maybe they worked with them in the past. They're always going to be prompted to add a testimonial if they choose. Same concept. If it's 1 through 3 stars, it will not automatically show up on their website. If it's 4 or 5 stars, it will automatically show on the website. You can always duplicate these if you want to change it around a little. You can always edit them if you want to as well. But since you have it saved now as a template, your agents can pull that into any presentation that they want to, whether it's a buyer tour, competitive market analysis, or whatever, the newsletter functionality. Every product in Present will then have that template in order to be able to pull over those testimonials. So if you want the recap on that and just that to share with your agents, again, head to Schmidt Video Classroom, Moxie Monday playlist. Judy trained on that on Monday. The other opportunity that we have in order to share the agent testimonials is right on their websites. So as of today, the agents already have 2 options in Moxie. They can add in testimonials manually. Maybe they're pulling them over from realtor.com, or maybe they're pulling them over from email submissions that they've gotten, so they can add a testimonial page manually. They also can link through their Zillow reviews so that their Zillow reviews will show up on their website. But now we have the opportunity to add our Testimonial Tree testimonies to the agents' websites. The really good reason about this is not only do consumers all now look at reviews, right? That's something Yelp and Zillow started many years ago, but it also helps with our site engine optimization. So every night when Google and the other websites troll all the content on the internet, they're always looking for that new content. Testimonials are new content. It just inherently is. If a consumer types anything about that agent and that information shows up on their website, that's new content. That's going to help push their websites individually and ours on the broker level to the top of those search results when it comes to Google and those other search engines. So this is a fantastic step to take. Now again, in Moxie, you have to be proxied as them in order to do this, or they have to give you their login. So you can request delegated access in Moxie, or you can ask them for their username and password in order to set up this page. There's no steps to do in Testimonial Tree. There's no widget, there's no iframe, there's nothing that you have to get here. So we're gonna go back into Moxie and we're gonna go into my website. So we were in Present, we were creating a new slide for all of our presentations. Now we're in the website WordPress site. So we want to go to Site Pages, Add New. This box automatically pops up. You can get there as well from this button up here. When you click that list, it's going to be the very bottom. So currently today, if they want to manually add testimonials, that's how they can do it here. For them to automatically pull over from Testimonial Tree submissions, they click Testimonial Tree page, click Submit. They can rename it if they want to. Maybe they want to put see what people say about me or whatever other page name they want to give it. They can change that, but it does default just to testimonials. The Testimonial Tree email will default to what their Moxie email is because that's what's tied to Testimonial Tree. The only time this might be different is if you're working with a team. So maybe you have 3 or 4 agents on a team and they're operating one Moxie site and one Testimonial Tree page. That may be a different email address. If that's a setup challenge that you guys hear about, feel free to reach out to anybody on the team and we can help walk through that because it gets a little bit ickier. But for any individual agent, super simple because it's going to autofill in what their Moxie email already is, and then click Publish. it gives you either green light, your page has been updated. So where does that go? So if we go to all pages over here under site pages, you can see these are the standard pages that we have. And it is going to put it right here, testimonials, testimonial tree page. It's always going to give you that so that you will be sure that you know exactly which page that is. Again, just like any other pages, this can be dropped anywhere that they want in order to be viewed where they want it to be viewed. I'm going to go ahead and delete that so it doesn't show up on the office page. Again, green light, page deleted. But where that will show up is in the header of your agent's pages. So I'm just going to pull up the Michigan's broker site just to show you what I mean. So when you drop and drag that content along the bar, this is where it's moving it to. So left to right is the same as top to bottom. So anything that's on the top up here on the widget is going to appear all the way to the left. So if you're adding that testimonial tree page, and I need to hide that. I don't know why those keep unhiding. I don't know if Judy or JD are on the call or Elizabeth, but if one of you could tell me why that keeps coming back, I'd be more than appreciative of it, any insight, because our EMD pages should all be hidden. So again, left to right is the equivalent to top to bottom. So as you're dropping and dragging these, that's what's going to change them in this order. And then once you have that on there, when you click on it, it's going to pull up their testimonial page and be available to all the consumers to see. Plus, it's boosting that SEO as well. Let me see if I have any questions that came up. I did. Give me one moment. Sue asks, is the ASC supposed to get an email notification when a testimonial or survey is completed? And does the agent get one as well? So that's part of our open ticket, because as of today, the ASCs are not getting notified when a testimonial is complete, which might be a silver lining here because you don't want to get those notifications for all 2001 agents. But the agent should be getting notified of that. And then once we get the glitch fixed, the ASCs should be getting notified when that is complete. We can add the manager to the platform as well, because you can have more than one manager in each office. So if the managers want to pay attention to this, we can add them, but we need to work through that glitch first. But that is how the program in a perfect world is supposed to work. ASC gets notified and the agent gets notified. Yes, and so on the office or on the company-wide platform that I've noticed, I'm getting them sporadically, but I'm not getting them every single time. I've not gotten 263, whatever it was, email. So stay tuned for more. Hopefully we'll get that fixed here shortly, working with the Testimonial Tree team. Great. Any other questions? So again, this is a new platform. It can be confusing. So if you have any questions when you get in here to dig through, reach out to myself, your RSCs, JD, Judy, Elizabeth, anybody on the team. Again, the Moxie support page is super helpful. They have all the screenshots and videos and whatnot. But while I wait for questions, we'll just quickly recap. Again, from the Moxie hub, Testimonial Tree will automatically log each agent in. If they want to go outside of that, they can come to Schmidt Resources, go to the Technology Square, and click on the testimonial tree, and then it's click here to log in. There's also great job aids here as well, along with all of the training that we have recorded and available to the agents. And then for you guys as ASCs, you'll want to make sure that you are, and I am logged in as the wrong person, so one moment. Let me get logged back into the administrative site. So when you guys log in, if you don't see this word management, make sure you reach out to me, and we will make sure that we get that added for you, because you should, in theory, go to management and users. And this is where you should see only your agents. But again, as we spoke, there is a glitch. So come over here to the right, click on filters, type in any agent name that you want to, or filter through to just your location. Just your agents will come up. Lots of opportunity to help them manage, to edit, to get more reviews, to log in as them is found right here. And then to get the widget for Moxie Present, again, you don't need it for the websites, but for Moxie Present, you want to go to widgets, either manage widgets or add widgets. Since we just created one, we'll go to manage, and that'll show you the ones that we have here. And this is where you can get those codes to then take over to Moxie Present. And this is where you can add that in on a slide so that it's in there as a template so that your agents can always pull in their reviews on their buyer presentations or listing presentations or newsletters. And again, that is done by add page, create new, build page option, create more, and then those are your two options. And again, when you hover iframe, and it's not working for me right now, it's not quite done loading, but iframe and embed. So those are your two options. But when you're going to add it to the website, that's when you go into my website, site pages, add new, all the way at the bottom, testimonial tree page. Again, that testimonial page is where they manually can add the testimonies, but testimonial tree page there, submit. Testimonials can be renamed. Make sure that email is correct and click publish. Again, that's a one-stop shop. They do it one time and that page will always be there. It'll always constantly update itself with any reviews or testimonies that are left for them. I did have a question, so let me take a little read. Yes, great question. So Sue wanted me to recap the opt-out procedure for agents. So if an agent doesn't want the manual feed, which again, in Michigan and Ohio, when a loop is marked as closed, that night, the survey request will be triggered. In Florida, as soon as it's marked as closed in app files, that night, the survey is sent to the client. If your agent wants to use this tool manually, they want to go in and ask for reviews, or if they don't want to use it at all, and they don't want that automation to go through, they can either themselves log into Testimonial Tree, click on the left question mark, click on tickets, put in their name, their email address. They don't have to fill out user type, username, subject will be opt out. And in the notes, please opt me out of the automation or automatic surveys. The verbiage doesn't have to be exact. It's just basically asking for them to be removed. Once the help desk team gets that information, they will go ahead and remove that automation from them. The agents can still absolutely use the platform. They would just go in and collect the testimonies manually. They also can just reach out to myself or to you guys, and we can email support@testimonialtree.com, and then we can ask for that agent to be opted out as well. Anybody marked as a manager in the system is allowed to ask for that agent to be opted out on their behalf. But the agents do have that opportunity themselves by again, let me get out so I can show you, clicking on the question mark, clicking tickets, and just filling that form out and then submitting. So great question. Any other questions before we wrap?
I do have a question, Carrie. Another one.
Great. Go ahead, Sue.
So in .loop, it's only sending to, it's based on the agent and then sending to that agent's client in that transaction.
Correct.
So if an agent has both the seller and the buyer, how does that, and they want obviously they would want the survey to go to both. There is no way, or maybe I don't know how to do it, to indicate in .loop that the agent is both the listing agent and the buying agent.
Sure. So in a loop, view details. So this is where the information is coming from. So the buyer has to be filled out here, and then it should be notated. Maybe it's on the people page. I may have to get a better answer for you on that.
Yeah, because if you go to, like I'm looking at the people page on a loop right now, and this agent has, had both the seller and the buyer, but for that agent, you can only choose, listing agent or buying agent.
Buying agent. Okay.
And not both. And I don't know that you can, I don't know if you can maybe can you add the agent in again?
Let me get a better answer for you so that I don't
Okay.
misspeak because I'm not exactly sure. So I'll get that answer and I'll get that out to Michigan and Ohio so that you guys are aware of that. It won't affect Florida. But it's a great question and I will definitely get you the answer. I'm just not quite sure off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, and it says you can't add the same person twice, so you definitely can't do that.
Right.
So I thought about that when we did the first training, and then I had forgot to ask, and I was actually just sitting here working on a closing for one of my only agents that's opting in the program. So
yeah, let me get you that answer and I'll get that over to you. Jessica there at Testimonial Tree is super responsive, so I may even have an answer for you today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question. Another question, she used to be an agent and still have to select manager. Is that why I don't see management in Testimonial Tree? Heidi, I'll look at your access. I'm not quite sure how you're notated in Moxie, but I'll take a look, Heidi, and let you know.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Christine asked, is the ASC responsible for closing the loop or does the agent do that? Christine, are you Ohio Christine or are you Michigan Christine? I don't have a last name. Oh, hi. Hi, Christine Sturkin. I hope things at our office are going well. So in Michigan, your regional commission specialist will be closing the loop out. So the agent doesn't have to do that. Yep, Terry closes them. Specific to the Zealand office, yes, Terry does close them. She's the region commission specialist. But that's a great question too, because it is a little different in each region. Great. So I know more questions are going to come up. I every day have more questions. Jessica there at Testimonial Tree is one of my best friends these days. So we are learning together as we go. We really appreciate it. We've had amazing feedback from our agents on this product, even if they are opting out of the automation. We have a lot of agents that just really like to go in and put more of a personal touch on each individual request, and that's okay too. So we'll continue to moderate the usage of the product, just like we do with all of our products. And if you guys have any questions or if you have any ideas on how to make this better for our agents, please don't hesitate to reach out. We always want to hear your feedback. We can't get any better without the feedback. So thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for First and Three. I believe it's on the 17th, but I may be wrong on that date. But we will have our account tech session on that date. So if you have any specific questions on dashboards or feeds when it comes to account tech, feel free to get those over to myself or Jessica Poblinski. We'll make sure we address those in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy December.